Thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. As we look at temperatures over the next 10 days, we're going to see several shots of cooler air make their way into the prairie, although it's not going to be a lasting, bitterly cold pattern, and there will be warm days to be found. As we talk about the precipitation forecast over the next 7 days, we've got a storm system making its way through over the weekend. It's going to drop a corridor of significant snow across central and southern Alberta, getting into central portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. So we take a look at the satellite picture here. Again, cloud cover across much of the prairie as strong jet stream winds come up and over the top of the ridge across the western half of the United States. And again, as we take a look at the radar here, snow starting to make itself known here in parts of the high plains, parts of the Front Range, and certainly some of the higher elevations here. Grand Prairie seeing some snow this morning. Calgary may see some snow begin to fall here as we head through the day as well. The more significant snow begins to fall overnight, first across central and southern portions of Alberta, where we have snowfall alerts in effect, and then begins to spread across central Saskatchewan and central Manitoba as we head into the day tomorrow and Sunday. We can see that here. We'll look at the high-resolution Canadian model, the precipitation-type forecast. Again, a relatively quiet Friday for a lot of us on the prairie, but as we head into the later part of the day today, we'll start to see at least some light snow along the Front Range here in portions of western Alberta, with that snow becoming a little bit more widespread as we head into the overnight, and then especially tomorrow morning across, this will be when we see the heaviest snow falling in the Grand Prairie area. Edmonton and Calgary would be during the morning and the first half of the day on Saturday. The area of low pressure begins to slide off to the south across portions of Montana and the Dakotas. Meanwhile, snow overspreading central portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba as we get into the overnight Saturday night into Sunday morning. We can look a little bit longer range here with the European model. Again, looking at a relatively quiet Friday for a lot of us, quiet overnight for many of us, but then snow beginning to spread from west to east during the day on Saturday, making it into central portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba by Saturday evening. Overnight, Saturday night into Sunday morning, snow continues to move from west to east, tapering off across Alberta during the overnight hours on Saturday night, and then tapering off across portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba during the day on Sunday. Now, as we head into the early part of next week, we'll continue to have to deal with blustery conditions accompanying each of these storm systems. As we go through the next several days, opportunities for winds to gust anywhere from 30 to 60 miles per hour across a big chunk of the prairie, quieting down as we get into Monday and Tuesday. Now, as we just look at the European model's forecast for snow at the storm system that's moving through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we do see that corridor of heaviest snow here across portions of central Alberta, getting into central Saskatchewan and central Manitoba, where we could see anywhere from 15 to 20 centimeters of snow, perhaps locally higher. As you head between Highway 16 and the U.S. border, we're talking about a little bit less here, especially across central Saskatchewan. So we're talking about maybe several centimeters of snow, up to 5 centimeters. Getting over toward Winnipeg, possibly missing out on much, if not all, of the snow here over the next 3 days. Perhaps a trace of snow to be found there. And then as we go all the way back to Alberta, Calgary, Grand Prairie, I'm thinking 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. And then the Edmonton area, probably 10 to 15 centimeters of snow over the next several days. Now, as we take a look at the upper level pattern, again, we've had a ridge across the region. That's what's allowed it to be a little bit on the warmer side over the last couple of days. But this trough begins to swing in from the Pacific, and that's the one that brings not only the snow over the next 3 days, but that shot of cooler air. We see it beginning to move from west to east across the prairie right there, exiting by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday. That's when we'll see a little bit of a warm-up on the back side there. We'll see those at least near average to slightly warmer than average temperatures returning midweek. But then we have this next trough that comes swinging in. This one looks to not necessarily be looking so likely that it'll bring widespread accumulating snow, but more certainly looking at another shot of cooler air as we get to the end of next week. Now, as we look at the precipitation forecast here from the European model, again, we'll go kind of quickly over the first couple of days. We watch this storm system, again, that we've talked about in depth now Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, spreading from central and southern Alberta into central Saskatchewan and central Manitoba, exiting by the time we get to Monday. We'll have a quiet day on Monday, probably going to be quiet Tuesday as well, although it may turn blustery as our next area of low pressure begins to swing out of the northwest, moving across northern Alberta and northern Saskatchewan as we get into the day on Wednesday. This one, again, probably going to be more known for the shot of cold air that it brings in here as we get to the back half of the weekend than any sort of organized accumulating snow across the prairie. Certainly bringing opportunities for at least some light snow as we get to the back half of the weekend. And then high pressure slides in on the backside, bringing quiet but cooler conditions to end the week. A look at some of our ensemble forecasts, the European model in the bottom or the top left, the American GFS model in the top right, and then our long-range Canadian model here in the bottom center. The biggest difference I see is the outlier here with the late week snow on the Canadian model. We're going to go ahead and ignore that for now. Doing so, we see good agreement then when we look at the corridor of the heaviest snow falling across central portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba, talking about anywhere from 15 to 20, maybe locally higher amounts of snow here. And then as you get back towards central and southern Alberta, good agreement here with Calgary, Grande Prairie seeing 5 to 10 centimeters of snow, Edmonton perhaps as much as 10 to 15 centimeters of snow, with Manitoba, southern Manitoba, Winnipeg area missing out on a lot of that snow, and it's possible that far southern portions of Saskatchewan could miss out on a lot of the snow over the next couple of days as well. Now, as we look at the temperature trends, just playing a loop of the next 10 days, there you see the bit of the roller coaster ride again. And we'll time it out here, bringing it back, watching the, again, warmer conditions that had been in place being kind of shoved out of the way by the cool air that follows the storm system Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll see warmth return to the region as we head into the middle part of the week, but then that next trough comes in out of the northwest, bringing another shot of cold air that'll be coldest across western portions of the prairie as we get into the the late part of next week. Just taking a look at the next 10 days then, Calgary, again, here is the cool shot that follows the storm system in the area now, and then you see the roller coaster ride that follows. Warming up as we head into the middle part of next week, peaking Tuesday and Wednesday with cooler shot of air coming as we end the week, March 13th, 14th, and 15th. A similar look in Edmonton. Your coldest days, Saturday and Sunday. Your warmest days, Tuesday and Wednesday, with another shot of cold air coming in at the end of next week. Saskatoon, a very similar look. Regina, a very similar look. Manitoba, you mix it up a little bit. Winnipeg, you're just delayed by a few days. You get that cold shot of air parked over the region on Monday, warming up as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, again with another shot of cooler air possible as we get into the end of next week, but it does look early on like the cold will be the most intense as you head back toward the west. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful weekend.